Hello, everyone. Oh, I gotta be full screen for this. Hello, everyone, and happy Friday the 13th. It's a very fun Friday the 13th tonight. It's gonna be a great time. I have a guest. Let's bring him in. Cecil, hello.
Hello there. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. We have Cecil from the Horror Show channel. Who apparently is an older, sexier Tony, according to.
Oh, that was an accident. I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay.
I should change that.
Cecil, how are you?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm going to properly introduce you in a second.
All right.
Some of the people watching or listening are probably like, but wait, Tony, you ran out of Friday the 13th movies to review. And you would be right. But it turns out there's a lot of fan films. And usually I would not consider reviewing a fan film. But these are very, very special. They're very, very popular. And they have actors from the main movies, including like one of the most popular ones. So yeah, we'll be talking about the Never Hike Alone movies. And what a day to do it, because they just released the Ghost Cut. Right? Did they just release that, or has that been around for a while?
No, at midnight, East Coast time last night, it went live. So I got to jump on it at about 10 p.m.
Nice. Yeah, so it's done chronologically. That's the version we're going to be talking about today.
Mm-hmm.
But first off, we got some stuff to talk about, and it's funny enough, I have to plug the Patreon, and I realized I did not send the link to the $10 patrons. I'm so great at that. Hold on, link to the Never Hike Alone episode.
Not necessary.
The worst at that, because when you sign up for Patreon, Cecil, at the $10 tier, you get to actually call into the show.
The fuck out of here!
It's a
wait. You can take live call-ins, really?
Yes.
That's actually awesome.
I remember to post the link.
That's great.
Which I'm doing right now because I suck.
Damn. I'm gonna have to pick your brain on how to do that shit. That's great. I love interactivity.
Well, I'm glad you're asking about Patreon. The Godfather Part 2 episode is up early for patrons and channel members. We talked about Godfather Part 2 for its 50th anniversary. Me and Frank, we downed an entire bottle of Chianti during it. And
we're talking about Godfather Part 2, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Oh, no, it is good. We were just having fun and we were drinking. And it occurred to me midway through the episode, I'm like, we are having too much fun. We can never drink again.
No, there's never a too much fun when it comes to drinking. And I don't have any particular reason for saying that.
I'm going to bump your mic up just a little bit.
Okay.
On Patreon.
Bump it, baby. Bump it.
Yeah. We have a $2 tier, $5 tier, $10 tier. $5 tier gets you commentary tracks, Cecil. Which, by the way, we should probably do some together. I think that'd be fun.
I agree with you. I'm still in the process of trying to figure out exactly what I want to do on my channel with you and Adam, because I do feel like we have a great dynamic, and the other dude too when he shows up. Yeah. But I haven't. I don't focus on the channel as much as the films that I'm making right now. So hey, that's a shout out. Go follow my channel that I'm not focused on.
I'm going to plug your channel.
I'm so good. No. I'm so good at promoting the fact that I am not focused on it right now. It's phenomenal. But no, yeah. But I appreciate you having me on, dude. Like I very much enjoy the fact that we can rib each other and not get under each other's skins.
I would say definitely check out the streams I've done. I usually put the audio version on my podcast feed afterwards.
Nice.
But on Adam Does Movies, me, Cecil, and Adam will stream together sometimes, and we just rip each other apart for our hot film takes.
I love that.
But Cecil, you might be wondering, like, hey, I want to check out these commentary tracks, but I don't know if I want to pledge $5 a month. Well, I got you, buddy. They're available for individual purchase if you wanted to test one or two out.
Out of here.
It's cheaper if you just pledge, but that's a big commitment. I understand.
How much are they otherwise? Let's break down all of your prices.
The individual tracks are $3 each. There's some collections. But yeah, so check that out. What else I got? Oh, on the main channel and the podcast feed, I have compiled our Lord of the Rings episodes into one mega upload.
Oh,
So
so just as long as the movies then.
pretty much, yeah. So if you want to hear me, actually, it's as long as two of the movies.
Oh,
If you want to hear me and Joe Lascola and Johanna, except for the third episode, talk about Lord of the Rings for 6.5 hours with no interruptions. I know, Cecil, you're saying I can't think of anything else I want to do.
I only hope that there's a Hobbit discussion soon to follow.
Well, we'll get there. I'm less enthused. I love that. I was like, we got to do it for the 20th anniversary, and then like the 10-year anniversaries came for that other trilogy, and I'm like, we'll get to them at some point. They're not really in a rush, Cecil. So, Cecil,
Yes, sir.
can you properly introduce yourself and tell us what your channel's about and this film that you mentioned earlier?
Absolutely. So my name is Cecil. Hi, how are you? Thank you. And I run a channel called The Horror Show Channel on YouTube. We've been going since 2014, and our views are kind of at their all-time low. So fantastic there.
Really, I got Cecil just on his way down. I made it. I feel like Ed Wood with Bela Lugosi. He was such an easy get.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm super easy now. We'll see in a few years. I don't know. Plus, looking at the way I look on your feed, the hypertension is going to get me before anything. Holy shit. I'm so red, but at least it keeps shifting. So maybe it's not the hypertension as much as a bad camera. But still, yeah. So I've just we created the channel years ago to cover anything and everything under the horror umbrella. We do obviously reviews, trailer reactions like everyone else on the internet does. But what we do a little bit different is sometimes we'll do comedy sketches. We will do convention coverage, celebrity interviews. The celebrity interview anyone watching nowadays might care about is I did an 1.5 hour long interview with David Howard Thornton after the first Terrifier movie. Ooh. So, that's just one. But I do have interviews with Kane. I have an interview with Sid Haig, couple interviews with Sid Haig. Kane did a station ID along with a bunch of other people. But lots of cool, interviews and stuff. But the biggest thing that we did was the short film that I made last year called Dylan's New Nightmare. Yes, that is the Nightmare on Elm Street fan film, technically the unofficial sequel to Wes Craven's New Nightmare. And I was able to bring back Miko Hughes to reprise his role as Dylan Porter about when we filmed it about 25 years after the filming of the original. So
and then I freaked out Miko Hughes at Spookala.
Okay.
I had drink tokens at the party, but I didn't want to drink anymore.
Oh.
So I just stood behind him creepishly, and then he looked over and I went, "You were great in Spawn. Have a drink." And I just walked away. I gave him drink tokens and I walked away.
Speaking of Spawn, it's funny. He was at Mad Monster a couple of years ago, and we were hanging out at the bar, and it also happened to be that what's her name, Melinda something or other.
Melinda Clark, I think.
Yeah, Melinda Clark. Yeah, she was a guest as well, and she came up and was like, "Miko, hey," and like she's like, "Hi, I'm Melinda." I was like, "Hi, I'm Cecil." Like it was just surreal. They kind of like caught up and stuff, and I was like, "Yeah, no, we did this thing together, and it's
they
actually
weren't in
premiering."
any scenes together.
No, but they were.
Yeah, I know.
They were in the same movie, dick.
I know.
but yeah, so that was actually the year we were premiering Dylan's New Nightmare at Mad Monster. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
And it was funny. I reviewed Dylan's New Nightmare because a lot of people were telling me about it. And that also plays into Never Hike Alone. So I checked it out and I reviewed it. I usually don't review fan films, but again, you got my attention with Miko Hughes in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave it a good review. But
we
did the live stream together with Adam, I didn't know who you were. And then you're like, "Oh, I directed Dylan." I'm like, "Oh shit, did I give that a negative review?" I'm like, "Oh no." Oh, no.
I know I had to check after the stream too, but you were kind.
Like,
so
I'm like, I don't think I should. I thought it was like okay. I think my main thing was the Freddy, but I also admitted that is an impossible task Because how do you replace Robert Englund? And the answer is that you should have just gotten me. And now I'm going to show you my audition footage. And I think if you do a follow-up, you should really consider having me. I think I'm the only one who captures the spirit. Let's watch this footage here.
Sure.
Hey guys, I got a lot of good responses on my Ghostface impression.
I also do Ghostface.
So now I thought I'd do a Freddy Krueger impression.
Okay.
I'm in it.
I'm Freddy Krueger. Sweet dreams, or should I say, nightmares.
His key phrase, of course.
Okay, totally nailed it. Probably did Robert Englund proud. He would be so proud of me. Suggest any other impressions you want me to do.
Fuck, dude. That
I'm gonna see. So, could you hold for applause? I'm sure the people at home are applauding.
of course. Let me give them the appropriate time to do so.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like if Freddie ate Robert Englund, which I like. I think that's great. That's great.
Yeah. Well, just consider it. Just consider. Put a pin in it. If you can't get that guy back, you now have a backup.
If I manage to only raise like $100 for the next one, I think that mask will work.
I'm in. I will bring the mask. I'll bring the glove, the Spirit Halloween glove. I'll bring it.
Yeah. It'll be that's about what it'll be worth.
And I'll practice more classic Freddy lines like, "Hey, you mean woman." That's his line. He says, welcome to TV, you mean woman." The classic Freddy line.
This is the entity to which you should pray.
Yes, that's
like
exactly
that.
what he said.
Right.
Remember that? Who can forget that line where he said, "Darn it, Jason, I got this." I've done some fan stuff. I used to do fan films when I was a kid. As a teenager, and in recent years I've done more fan parodies. Of course, I did the Halloween in 5 minutes where I think we covered all the major beats of the movie.
100%. So well done too.
Thank you. And then after that we did Die Hard, but it's a Christmas movie because it's that time of year again, and everyone is debating if Die Hard is a Christmas movie. So me and the crew, we took Die Hard and
how did you enhance it?
Huh?
How did you enhance it to make it a Christmas movie?
We added so much Christmas to it. The Grinch is the bad guy. The Wet Bandits are his crew.
Absolutely. Missed opportunity.
Al Pal shows up with Kevin McAllister.
Wow, damn. Yeah.
Jack Skeleton gets thrown out a window. All the police cars in front of the building are Hess trucks. We couldn't have made it more Christmassy.
Fantastic, dude. Wow.
And then of course, I gotta watch it. You've seen Night of the Living Dead, right?
Yeah. Actually, as a matter of fact, I watched it just a couple of weeks ago with my friend Davey Deathray over on his channel, who happened to just pop into the chat over on my channel there.
Well, I'm going to assume that you were watching the original version, not the corrected version, which of course is my Hack the Living Dead. Because so when you watch Night of the Living Dead, I think we could agree that there's something missing, and that's that I am not in the movie fighting zombies outside of the house.
Oh, with period appropriate clothing for sure too.
Yes. So a few years back during COVID, I decided now is my time to digitally insert myself and my asshole friends into Night of the Living Dead. I got rid of all the news broadcasts, and I got my friend to be a crazy Alex Jones type.
Nice.
He kind of is I was supposed to be the star of the movie, but he was so funny, he kind of became the star of the movie. But yeah, so
hurting the zombies gay.
It was actually not that far off.
Nice.
So yeah, I've done some fan stuff. You've done some fan stuff. So I think we're the perfect duo to talk about Never Hike Alone. Now, before I was a very famous podcaster, I know it's hard to believe there was a time I wasn't.
I'm just not connected. I hadn't heard of you, but it could, it's just because I'm not plugged in. That's it.
Probably. I used to do like streams where I would watch people's fan films.
Okay.
I don't do them too much these days because let's just say they can't all be Dylan's New Nightmare. Some of them are a little rough. And I say that as someone who has made really bad not those 3 works of art I just showed, but in the past I've made some really bad fan films.
Sure.
But I remember when this one came out, people were like, Tony, you got to check out Never Hike Alone. You got to check it out. I was like, okay, I'll watch it. Probably after like the 5th terrible Batman fan film I watched. And I remember streaming it, watching it. I'm like, wait, this is actually like, this is good. I'm like, this is actually like a really good, well done film. I like the main character. And then it surprised me at the end where Thom Matthews shows up. And I really, really
you can call him Tom.
Tom?
Yeah.
I always say Thom because that's how it's spelled, but do you say Tom?
It's Tom.
Okay,
I've
I've said Tom, and I feel like I was corrected.
Nope, it's Tom.
So when I met him, I just said, hey, you. I did the Seinfeld when he's stating the girl's name.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, hey, you.
Yeah, otherwise he's just like, yep, that's me. I'm Thumb Matthews. Yeah.
Yeah, so I really liked it. I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to keep an eye on these guys. And they've released a prequel, a sequel, a music video, and I didn't watch any of them until this week. So I'll get her.
Well, when did you watch the original?
Huh?
When did you watch the original?
I watched the original like when it was out.
So 2017. Okay.
Yes. When I was doing those live streams. Maybe it might have been like a year after that.
Okay.
But within that like time frame. And I kept like seeing it pop up. I'm like, oh right, I gotta check that out. And I just kept forgetting.
Oh yeah.
And I told a similar story with Terrifier. It took me a couple years to see Terrifier. And like I finally saw it. Now I'm all caught up for the second one, and then I didn't watch it until September. Like I'll get around to it eventually.
Did you watch the third yet, or no?
Yes, I did. We have an episode.
Oh, okay.
What is the best Terrifier so far?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I notice you're probably not subscribed to my channel. Next.
After our first live stream, I did.
Okay.
Now, does that mean I watch your videos? That's another question.
So yeah, they did the first movie, a music video, which you did like a behind the scenes thing for, right?
I did indeed. Yeah, my buddy and I, my producing partner, I should say, and I, the guy that brought the idea for the Horror Show channel originally to me just as like a filmmaker interview thing that I then blew up into what it became.
Yeah.
He and I went to, because we actually have helped out on the filming of Snow, Disappear, and it was just Snow and Disappear. I wasn't able to help out with 2 because we were still doing Dylan's New Nightmare stuff. But yeah, so I filmed behind the scenes for both. And I was only there for 1 day on Snow, but we were there for, well, Disappear was done in a day, so I was there for that whole time too. But yeah, I ended up putting together like an hour and 8 minute long behind the scenes thing for a 4-minute music video. But it's because, you know, I love behind the scenes stuff, quite frankly. I like giving a window into that world because I loved seeing that shit growing up, because, you know, I'm old enough to have grown up in the heyday of like DVDs becoming like the thing. And then like the special Criterion, right? Like all the bonus features are why DVDs were so fucking cool. And it carried into some Blu-rays, but now special features have been kind of filtered out and stuff. So
unless like Scream Factory or someone does something and they like load it up, but that's like specifically for,
and that's few and far between, you know, as far as the coverage of films that are out there. But yeah, so I was like, I love doing that. And obviously we have a horror channel, so having something like that to present on the channel was like a great opportunity too. But I just it just fed the bug, you know. I've always wanted to make stuff anyway. And the reason we linked up with Vince was because we reviewed Never Hike Alone in 2017 when it came out. Yeah. And then the next year he came to Mad Monster, Arizona, and he like knew me because of the review that we did. And so we hung out a little bit, and then he needed a place to stay. So he came and crashed at my house. And so we just, you know, became friends after that. And I helped him out where I could. And then I came to him with the idea of DNN, and he was on board. So yeah, that linking up with Vin allowed this access, and it's just so fun because you saw the final product. Yeah, like it's so great to work on something that ends up in such a quality product. Yeah, you know?
These are very quality. And it's cool that you reviewed it and you got to be a part of it. Like I reviewed your movie and now I'm playing Freddy Krueger. We agreed. Thank you. Yes, they did.
You're Freddy's nightmare of himself.
Freddy's nightmare. He always has nightmares of some asshole he went to school with.
He looks in a mirror and he sees the self that he left behind 20 years ago after a long exercise regimen. I'm sorry. It's so fun. The reason I can do this is because I'm like twice your size calling you
So
fat.
you're late. This year, I finally kind of got in shape this year. You're so late to the fat
Dude,
shit.
I lost 50 pounds this year and I'm still like 100 pounds heavier than you. So like, it's the only reason I feel comfortable doing this is because I know I'm way bigger.
Although it is great as a fat guy when you lose a little bit of weight. You're like, yes, now I'm justified making fun of you.
Yeah, I feel so much like
Look
better
at
than
that!
you.
Look at that lard ass over there.
Like that one's not even trying. I'm over
He
here.
probably
at
can't
350
even
still.
awkwardly fit into a size L.
Yeah,
I can. It's not flattering, but I can.
they're not 50 pounds closer to getting on a roller coaster.
So yeah, and then we finally got to Never Hike Alone 2,
Uh-huh.
and now we have the Ghost Cut, and that is what we will be going through. So it's funny to watch this in chronological order because
Yeah.
it starts off with the music video.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, could you find a more Italian name?
Oh, Vince. Yeah. Vincente De Santi.
Vincenti De Santi.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mamma mia.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the Disappear video opens up with like news footage of what happened after the first Friday.
Well, the
13th.
Disappear video doesn't. The news footage was actually shot for this Ghost Cut.
Yeah, in this version is what I
Mhm.
meant.
Yeah. Uh-huh. No, I'm just going to be correcting you. Anytime I can make you look dumb, I'm going to.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
So this is a news report from the 80s, and apparently CBS5.com existed in the 80s. I noticed that when I was watching. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't think that's the 1980s. Everything else was spot on, and then I saw .com. I'm like, wait a minute.
That's
So
a
this
good point. I didn't pick up on that. Like, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Hit up DeSanti right now. Be like, you got to re-upload it. You got to re-upload it.
There's a fix you need, bro.
Also, if you need, if you're ever gonna do a Freddy one, I know a guy. So
Why
the
not
music-
Jason too? Why limit yourself?
You're skipping ahead.
Oh,
You're-
I'm sorry.
you're
I'm
skipping
so
ahead.
sorry. Okay.
So yeah, the opening date is August 13th, 2004. So is this after Freddy versus Jason? Are we led to believe that all these movies are happening after Freddy versus Jason? Since that was
So I don't think Freddy versus Jason was ever the canon.
Okay.
It all takes place after Manhattan. So
Okay.
Manhattan is canon, but it's all after Manhattan once he's returned back to Crystal Lake.
Although the Friday the 13th continuity is like all over the place. By the time like
True.
I think Freddy versus Jason might actually be after Jason X, actually, depending on how much they keep jumping in time.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Both of which I love, by the way. Like,
I love all of them. I love Jason Goes to Hell. I
We
like
probably
it.
should have started by getting, I'm curious, like, as someone that's been a longtime fan of your channel, I just can't remember what you said about the other ones. So what was your overall thoughts on this series? If you've covered it for this long, have you just been doing like one every Friday the 13th, or have you just done all of them this year?
We used to do 3 at a time, and then I decided to do X, Freddy vs. Jason, and the remake by themselves.
Okay.
Because we had a lot to say about X and Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah.
Going back, I should have done 7, 8, and 9 separately. I actually also went back and covered the work print cut of Jason Goes to Hell, which is a lot of
Oh,
fun.
okay. Nice.
I like the series. It's not great. That's the thing. Like, I'm not like even the first one's not great. It's framed as a whodunit, and then at the end, it's like, oh, it was this lady. It's like, you can't frame your whole movie as a whodunit and just say, oh, it's this lady.
Yeah.
Like the whole time I'm looking for clues. So when they get ridiculous or bad, it's not like the end of the world.
Right.
6 is my absolute favorite, which you can tell why I like this series. 6 is my favorite because it was clearly done by people who just didn't really care that much, and they were making fun of it, and then they accidentally made the best Friday the 13th movie.
Agreed.
Yeah, and I like some of the wackier ones like Jason Goes to Hell, but like, I guess for me, like, because the series never, it's not like Halloween, which is like a great film. They're just kind of like fun. They're kind of fun. They're
Well,
goofy
I
and
mean,
fun.
the other Halloween movies are of a similar quality as the Jason movies.
Yes,
You know
but the
what I
fact is, like, Halloween 1 is like without a doubt better than the first Friday the 13th.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the
yeah,
thing.
there's no,
And, like,
you're not going to
Nightmare
get an
on Elm
argument from
Street
me.
is like really, really good. So like when you get like a weak one there, like, oh, but Friday the 13th. They're like, yeah, I guess he is a zombie now. Sure, why not?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think the Elm Street movies are overall, like, the series is overall stronger than both Halloween and Jason. But
it used to be my least favorite growing up, but now that I'm older, it is the most consistent. There's only like a few weak ones in there.
Well, I only say a couple, really, and like you with Jason Goes to Hell, like I like Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X. Like I like what people consider the sillier ones for different reasons. Like I like Freddy's Dead for
I love Freddy's Dead. It's just it's mostly 4 and 5. That's a little bit of a
I love those too. The only ones that I'm not a big fan of is the remake, but even that I find a few things that I like about it, like the micro naps and Jackie Earle Haley's acting, not his effects. Both are good, but otherwise, I enjoy all the other Nightmare movies.
Yeah, they're pretty solid. And like I said, like I love 2. 2 is my favorite.
2's great.
But yeah, even like New Nightmare is really good. You obviously like New Nightmare.
Clearly.
Yeah. So back to this film.
Yeah. So wait, so you didn't say, so you enjoy these? The Never Hikes. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
great.
I love
great.
them, yeah.
Cool. Well, that's good to know. If you just watched them for the first time, I was curious.
No, I didn't watch them
if you
for
like
the first
6
time.
I thought you said you'd. No. The Never Hike movies.
Oh yeah. Those I've seen. The sequels I finally saw for the first time.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm asking, how did you like the Never Hike movies? Being a Jason coverer.
Oh, I really liked them. Liked them. That's why if I didn't like them, I would have been like, eh.
Well, I mean, look, you might cover it whether you like it or not because it's an installment. I don't know. You did say we're going to cover these having not watched all but one. So
I like that first one though, so it worked.
Fair.
But yeah, so this music video starts with Jason just hanging out in his shack with his mom's head. I have a question.
Okay.
So, 2004, she died in 1980. He's doing nothing to preserve her head. Why does this broad just not decay? Like, why is she just not bones right now?
I mean, why does Jason not die? Like,
well,
maybe
he's like a magic
blood.
Zombie, but like, is she also like a magic evil thing? That's what I think. I'm like, her head can't still be decaying. It's got to be like a bone now.
Let me go for a Marvel no prize here and say that because Jason's held on to her for so long, some of his magic has filtered onto her head a little bit, I suppose, and preserved her, maybe.
I'll allow it.
All right.
Yeah. This is a fun music video where he's just, people keep bumping into Jason and he keeps killing them with the sickle, which is cool.
Yeah. A lot of cool, a couple of really cool shots in that. The bloody sickle going through the reeds.
Yeah.
I was there when they shot that. That was fucking cool. I was like, oh, that's going to be so awesome.
I like the cutting back and forth of him going toward the girl, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just a quick video. Ends with them at his cabin and he's just staring at him. But like, if you were to watch these for the first time, it is like a jarring thing to start with. Like,
I agree.
The rest of the movie is like normal and it builds up to him. But in this version, it's like, here he is and he's killing people to a fun song. Like,
I feel like maybe he should have put it after snow, personally. Like, chronologically, whatever, it doesn't really matter, right? Because they, none of this applies to either before or after as far as bodies laying around, really. So I think
it's a cool video. It's a fun video.
It is. It is a cool video.
Yeah. Then we got 13 years later. And we got this dude. Crap, I had all their names. Do you know all the character names?
I know the actor's name is Cortland.
God damn it. Hold on. I had all the freaking things up and I realized I X'd out of them.
Oops. Just real quick, I'll shout out. You have a couple of super chats here.
Sorry. 1 second. The name of the game is super chats. Get your super chats in. I usually wait until the middle and the end to read super chats.
Fair enough.
Unless there is like a very big one you think we need to read right now.
Not specifically. I just whatever. Look, I'm not here to yuck your yum. You know what I mean? Whatever,
no, it's okay.
However you want to do things.
If this was just a live stream, I'd be reading them constantly. But
fair enough. Cool.
I've had friends who do their live show and have super chats, and they would read the super chats without, and the podcast listeners hate that. So I make sure to put it in sections.
Fair enough. All right, cool.
So this character is Mark.
Right.
We find this boy Mark. He's hiking in the woods in the snow alone, and he's being chased. by, of course, Jason, who's got a cool bow and arrow. This is the first time we actually see Jason hold a bow and arrow, I believe. We've seen him use one, but we never, like, we've seen the results of him using one, but we've never actually seen him, like, linking up and doing that. Which, doesn't he not have a right eye? Isn't this kind of hard to aim without a right eye?
I mean, he's just adjusted. He just uses his other
okay. Yeah, this kill is brutal. The axe to the mouth. I was like, ow, that hurts to look at. And I did love Jason's like Hulk moment, because like the guy's car alarm goes off and he like he like literally picks up the engine and throws it. I'm like, that's awesome.
I should tell you too, Mark Cortland is a filmmaker in his own right. Okay, he has a channel called Oddest of the Odd on YouTube. Okay. And he's done some awesome fan films as well, including a badass Haunted Mask fan film from
Goosebumps.
But he also you would appreciate his Happy Halloween fan film. It was a Halloween fan film that was fucking awesome.
He did that with my friend Jimmy Champagne.
Yeah, yep. That's him.
Yes. I've seen it. It was really good. I didn't realize that was him.
So that's him. Yep. Mark is him.
And Vince.
It's a very small world. Yeah, exactly. Vin has played The Shape. He has played Jason. He has played the Silent Killer in 13 Fanboy. And technically he's played Freddy too, because he played Freddy's arm in an insert shot for our film that we shot months after the principal photography.
This is my favorite bit. I didn't catch it right away because I kind of went into these a little blind. But here we have Vincent Gustafaro. I don't know if I butchered that name.
Gustafaro
as Sheriff Rick, and he was the guy from Part 6 that did the "Wherever the Red Dot Goes, you bang,
Rick Cologne.
He made it to Sheriff. I forgot he survives that movie, and he made it to Sheriff. He tells him to like kind of get rid of the body or the evidence that there was a crime. And Tommy Jarvis is lurking about. They let his mom know that he died. I didn't realize she was going to like become like a main character later on. So it's cool that we have her introduced here. Jason finds out like the dude was filming him, which was kind of cool. And then we see a new head. It's a different head. It'll switch back and forth. We see this cool moment where he sees his mom. And then he turns into like the younger version of himself. And these are always scenes that we like always implied were happening, but we never actually saw them. We saw people pretending to be his mom and tricking him, but we never actually saw him hallucinating his mom. So it was cool to see that on screen. You might
even though her hair is a bit different. The sweater is on point, but they let her.
My justification is he remembers her when she was younger.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
He was dead for years.
That's actually really good. That's a good Nobel Prize in and of itself. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's a good explanation.
That's how I read it. I mean, although that's
a good read.
Jason's origin doesn't really make sense. And even some people are like, wait, he was alive the whole time? Or maybe he came back? Or I like that the comics said that she used the Necronomicon to bring him back, which plays into part 9, actually.
Yep.
We see that. So this is like what? This is like 13 hours. Technically, this is 13 hours before Never Hike Alone. It's like, oh yeah, earlier that day, Tommy Jarvis was just going around trying to shoot things in the woods, I guess. And then he went to work later on.
Yeah. Well, look, you spend your free time how you spend it, and he'll spend his how he spends it.
I like that he's hunting Jason and he gets arrested because they're like, dude, you've been doing this for 40 years. Can you stop with the Jason shit?
Never.
I like this. So the one deputy is walking around the camp and they find Roy's mask from part 5. Now, I don't think it's actually supposed to be his mask because Roy was never at Crystal Lake.
Right.
It's probably just like, oh, he found an old hockey mask. But for the fans, it looks like Roy's. It's a fun Easter egg. But I don't want to be like, oh yeah, Roy went to Crystal Lake to get into character on how to be Jason. Like, it's so weird.
You never know.
That's another one that doesn't make any sense if you think about it. It's like his son was at the thing and had a different name. What the fuck?
Yeah. I feel like they didn't fully know where the script was going that whole time.
At least they introduced him earlier in the movie and had him throughout. So you'd be like, oh, it's that guy.
Yeah.
But then you hear the origin, you're like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like, wait, what?
Wait, he didn't even kill the guy who killed his son. That guy went to jail and he killed people who had nothing to do with it. What did the hillbillies have anything to do with it?
Well, I mean, hillbillies just deserve it all the time, don't they?
I like that Roy's like, I'm going to get revenge, but I'm not going to go to the police station. I'll get shot. So I'm going to go to the crazy place.
100%.
This is cool. So they worked a little bit of a found footage element into all of these.
Mm-hmm.
But I like this, that they're using the police body cam. I feel like we're going to see a lot more of that in movies. So it's cool to see it here.
This kill, by the way, if anyone's interested and they want to see BTS of that kill, in my special, I show Nora doing the test with a different head and using the air cannon just out in the wilderness, but in broad daylight. So you can really see how the effect work of Jason blowing this dude's head off.
Nice. It is a cool kill. Like he goes to shoot him, he just pushes it back.
Yep.
Blows his head up. So there was a comment like really early on before the stream. They're like, he used a gun. That's sacrilege. And it's like, wasn't really using the gun.
Yeah. He just turned it against the dude. Like,
also,
the dude used
what are the limits? Because he's used a spear gun. What is it about gunpowder where he goes, oh, no, not for me?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Well, maybe, so I would say maybe Jason might feel, because whenever they're used on him, it like doesn't do anything. So he's like, why would I use that? It doesn't do anything.
Well, then he also wouldn't use machetes too, if that was the case.
Well, okay, maybe
because they've hit him like a bunch with machetes. He's like,
but it doesn't hack him to pieces like it hacks everyone else to pieces when he uses them, I guess.
That's true. Yeah, so he's dead. And then we get 3 months later. I really liked Never Hike in the Snow. I wish it was a little bit longer like the other ones. Because people have always wanted to see Jason in the snow.
Yeah. That was the whole point. That was the whole point he made it.
I just thought it was going to be a little bit longer, but it works. It works for what it is.
Sounds like a lot of your girlfriends might have said something similar.
Fuck you.
Yes.
Oh, you asshole. You're never invited back. You're never invited back.
I can't help it. You just lay it there. Like you left the phrasing on the ground. It was easy
Why
for me
is
to
everyone
pick up.
so mean to me? I bring a new guy on the channel and they're all so mean to me.
I'm secretly jealous. I'm bigger and my hair is grayer. I have to give you shit.
No, the gray hair is cool. I'm excited for gray hair.
Well, luckily I'm more silver like my dad, so I might end up like a silver fox.
Nice.
If I lose about 150 pounds.
So this is the beginning of technically the first one that was shot, Never Hike Alone.
Which, by the way, I have to say, in rewatching, I really Never Hike Alone as a Jason movie, I feel if I were to rank them all, I would put it like towards the top, like maybe in the top 3, just because I loved it as a way to present Jason differently than he'd ever been presented before. Yeah. With the mixture of regular and found footage, and the fact that it was so singularly focused on one guy, you got to grow and care for this character, played by Andrew, amazing actor. Andrew, I'm not sure how to say his last name, like Leahy, but he's it's spelled that way. I don't know if that's how you say it, but he's extremely talented, and a great name. My middle name's Andrew, so what can I say? But he's really talented, and I buy into it so well. I kind of think I like Never Hike Alone 1 better than the other two, only because the other two are so much closer to the older movies, although updated in their presentation. I just think Never Hike Alone really stands apart as something different in the whole series in a really good way.
No, I 100% agree. I love this little story. I didn't know how I felt about it when I was first watching it, but I'm invested in him because again, we only really follow him. It's not like a body count movie,
right?
Which is what you expect from regular Friday the 13th and also fan films. I do like that you just hear Jason in the woods punching coyotes. That's just fun. It's a fun thing to think about.
And his footsteps are like thunder drums, every single one.
And those coyotes are so loud they can't hear an asshole YouTuber talking in a tent.
Yeah. Well, that may be also why I resonate with the film, because it's an asshole YouTuber.
Yeah, something about this guy speaking.
I don't know what it is.
That's how I felt about the movie Deadstream. I'm like, you know what? I like.
I
this
enjoyed
guy.
that one. Yeah.
And he's like, it's not my fault. I did all that stuff that got me canceled. I'm like, people tried to cancel me. I'm on your side, buddy. Hope that ghost doesn't get you.
Oh man, I got to do my research. I won't ask you to relitigate it, but I'm curious.
Oh no, it was just angry Reddit people. It wasn't anything
fair
like
enough.
real.
I've never been interesting enough to be talked about on Reddit, I don't think.
Look, I just really care about immigrant. No, actually.
Oh Lord. Well, that was fun. Gotta go.
You didn't let me finish. I went more. God, way to jump to conclusion.
Well, fair enough. I do have the mat.
Yeah, so he is a YouTuber who plans out hiking, or he like does hiking trails on his channel. And he's doing this trail, but then he realizes there's this marker that isn't registered. And he's like, I'm going to go see what's over here like a cool guy. And he comes across some barbed wire and a sign that says no trespassing. And of course,
Most stylistic no trespassing sign I've ever seen.
It really is. It's like cool. Yeah.
That graphic designer had a day, man. He's like, fuck it. This one's going to be awesome.
And he finds the camp, and then we realize that he knows the story of Jason. He's heard it before. He's probably seen some of the movies. I don't know.
But this is the fun thing for me. Like this is exposition that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
You know, he's gotta let the audience know what's going on, right? He's got to fill them in. So like this is the kind of exposition that I buy into very easily. As someone that has to fill in people on a regular fucking basis on this channel. You know what I mean?
Well, and also because it's a fan film and technically not authorized, he can't just use footage from the other films just to recap everyone.
True.
That is
although he did that with the with one of the trailers for Never Hike Alone 2. But
yeah, I think he did. That is one thing I miss about Friday the 13th, because they were like, people probably missed the first 4. Open the movie with a 5-minute highlight reel of what they missed. I'm like, man, I wish a lot of modern movies would do that. Like, hey, if you're just joining, here's what you need to know.
Yeah, previously on Friday the 13th.
Previously. I just miss when slasher movies did that. Also, it was a good way to fill time. Just show the last 5 minutes of your previous movie.
I don't think any filmmaker at the time was like, oh, I don't have to do 5 minutes? Okay, fine.
It is annoying though if you like binge them in one day. You're like, oh, I'm watching the same ending again.
Yeah, well, it was the same thing if you try and binge like Buffy. Every time it's like this is the Slayer who blah blah blah. I'm like,
Cecil,
all right, give me a fucking
Cecil. We don't acknowledge the inferior Buffy TV show. We only accept the Christy Swanson classic. Please watch my review of the Buffy.
I don't know how to.
No.
I don't know how to process that.
Wait, Cecil, you should watch my review of Buffy, because my co-hosts and my guest, who's now a co-host, they're 2 girls who love the Buffy show.
Okay.
I'm just being a dick the whole time. Like, I'm like, this was great. Joss Whedon ruined it.
I mean, it is tough to top.
It's so good. It's so good. Sarah Michelle Gellar, not my Buffy.
Hashtag not my Buffy.
Hashtag not my Buffy. I met Chrissy Swanson. She signed my Phantom tape. So Jason attacks him.
I have questions that I don't care enough to ask.
Jason attacks him. And Jason looks pretty cool. However, there are some shots where I wish he looked a little bit more zombie-ish. Because sometimes the way the lighting hit him, I'm like, oh, he just looks like a tan guy in a hockey mask. Only in some shots, not all the time. But there were a couple shots where like, oh, it just looks like a guy with a nice tan walking around.
I mean, you know, the hands are gloves. They're like the dead hands. So that's supposed to give it away that he's dead. But, you know.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it. It gets better, obviously, in the other ones.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, this is fun. Usually, like, he would have killed like 15 people by now, and this would be the end. But I like that it is a chase. We've never really... They always save, like, the chase for, like, the final person toward the end. But it's cool to see, like, most of the film be, like, just a chase between this guy and Jason.
It is a lot of fun. I will say that after watching it all back to back to back, I was like, Jesus, Vin just liked seeing this dude crawl on the ground. Because like they're like at least 4 times. I can think of at least 4 times he did it, if not more.
It is one of those things. Like if you watch him separately, you don't notice it as much. But when you're binging, you're like, oh, he does crawl.
He crawls quite a bit. He's a crawler. Like, let's do the Kyle.
Yeah.
We're
I like that he
crawl.
goes back for all his shit and fixes up his leg.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, he's running the end. He gets stabbed by Jason, but he gets saved by his map book. It takes most of the damage.
We didn't mention, by the way, earlier on the encounter with the second floor door, which ends up coming back in the sequel. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, they show like the door that leads to nowhere, but it was to hoist other stuff.
Like
Similar to
couches
the
and shit, yeah.
Yeah, similar to the door in the barn in part 3.
Right.
But yeah, then this does feel like Friday the 13th because we get a dream sequence where it ends with his head being crushed and it turns out he's fine. But then it cuts to another dream sequence. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
no,
where he's on a gurney. Yeah.
And then there he is, Tommy Jarvis, played by Tom Matthews. I'm like, oh,
what
shit.
the hell's going on back here? You know.
So that was like a fun cameo. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's cool. He's like an EMT. But then I thought, I'm like, he didn't move? Why didn't he move? Same way I feel about Jamie Lee Curtis in the new Halloween. It's like, lady, just move. Just go anywhere.
Ever vigilant. Ever vigilant.
So he's making sure they're taking care of them. But then Jason attacks, and it ends on a cliffhanger where him and Kyle are taken off. And Jason's got to go after him. Solid film. Really, really liked it. It kept me interested to see what happened next, and then I forgot to watch what happened next until recently. So then we skip to 13 hours earlier. This is where Never Hike Alone 2, Never Hike Again, I think it's called.
Right.
Is where it begins. It does a little bit of a flashback. We see Tommy seeing his younger self. It took me a minute to realize that was his younger self.
Yeah, that was the young Corey Feldman with that. Bob
And by the way, I was talking about Terrifier earlier. Like, each one looks better than the last. Terrifier 3 is like a legit looking movie. And this is how I felt with this. I'm like, this is like super cinematic now. Like they're putting they're doing like what they need to do. There's really cool, like
the others were definitely cinematic in their own
they were
right?
definitely good.
But you could tell he was improving. Yeah.
But I like the scene of him falling into the water and waking up in his bed. I thought that was really cool.
By the way,
yeah,
this is a bone of contention a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Because that camera movement as he dives into the water and wakes up, it's the exact same camera movement I did when Miko ducks out of the way of Freddy and wakes up in his bed. Exact same camera movement. And I was first, is all I'm saying. And Vin was in on the planning of Dylan's New Nightmares, so he knew. Well, no, I'm just fucking around. No, it was actually really funny. 2 utilizations of the same presentation, and both done well in their own right. But I do definitely like his water to wake up kind of thing.
Well, I have bad news. I am planning a similar shot in my Texas Chainsaw fan film that's all about Matthew McConaughey's character from the 4th one. To show how he broke his leg. He falls, and it's like that. He falls into a flashback.
Dude, you make his good tuna fish salad, you might lure him to set. You never know. I don't know if you're up on the meme, but
I'm not, but Texas Chainsaw 4, underrated.
Oh,
but I've talked
Next
about
Generation, Next Gen, yeah. I mean,
love it.
I only watched it I think once, but I'm a big fan of Zellweger.
Check out the director's cut. Director's cut is actually pretty good.
Oh, I didn't even know if there was one. Interesting.
Yeah, well, I watched one. I don't know if it's officially available. I assume it is.
Fair enough.
But yeah, we did a what is the worst Texas Chainsaw episode, and then on Movie Dumpster, my friends who did that episode with me, I went on their channel and we talked more about part 4 because I'm an apologist for it, and I didn't realize there was a director's cut, so we talked about the director's cut mostly.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's waking up. He's still having nightmares of Jason. The sheriff is still being a dick to him. It's like, hey, you gotta chill, buddy.
40 years you've been in this fucking forest. Like, well, why?
I love that they're showing more footage of stuff that happened in the first film, and I love this where like Jason was stalking him. I thought that was really cool.
It was similar. There's only one questionable thing in the first movie that I think, and it was right when he got to the no trespassing stylistic sign. And that's when Jason's kind of walking in the background. And then at one point, he like steps right next to him, and Kyle stands up and he's not there. And I'm like, that's the only thing that's like, well, it's not a vision, right? And he's not actually there. So like, what was that?
On again, off again, inconsistent teleporting trick.
Okay. I was gonna say he moves like the Flash, but I forget he does teleport. I love that they
worked that as a game mechanic in the Friday the 13th game.
I agree.
Actually works.
Yeah, no, it really, really does.
So what's her face? The girl from Never Hike in the Snow, the one whose kid dies. She works at the hospital, the same one that Tommy works at. So everyone's being
by the
nice.
way, I do think she stepped up her performance in this one.
No, she's great. She's probably the strongest actor in this, actually.
Yeah, in Snow, I was a little, I don't know. Well, I guess I was more. I thought Rick might have struggled a little bit in Snow during that conversation where he had to tell her what was going on. But she's like, the acting was super strong in these movies. Like that, Andrew carried a lot, and obviously Tom. Or Thumb, as you called him, did a great job too.
I've seen THOM pronounced Tom, and I feel like I said it and someone corrected me. So I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe.
Dude, in the age of trolls, who can tell what to believe anymore? Like, someone could have just said, "Oh, excuse me, it's supposed to be Thumb," and inside they're just like.
Also, this woman is in like everything. She does a lot of voice work, but she's in a ton of TV shows and stuff. Good for her. But yeah, she's still getting over her son's death. Everyone's being nice to her. And then we see during that chase sequence from the first movie, we now have to remember that he bumped into two people who had a tent in the woods. And he's like, "You got to get out of here," and gives them no other information.
Look, body counts have to happen somehow. You know what I mean?
Know.
Like, we need Jason somehow in the first 20 minutes of this movie.
Yeah, and he kills this couple here. They're just camping just randomly. No, I feel like adults go to campgrounds. They just don't go into the woods. Maybe I don't know. Did
Vin, like, he did all the gore and everything. Did he avoid the boobs? Like, we didn't get any boobs in this. This would have been the boob scene.
We didn't.
Yeah, wow.
I wonder it was going to go on YouTube. So
I'll have to. Oh, that's fair. That's definitely the answer.
Unless there's a boob cut that I don't know about, we'll find out.
The ghost boob cut.
My Texas Chainsaw fan film that's only about Matthew McConaughey's character. It's mostly just boobs. It's
all right.
I told all the
Come on, Bubba, let's go have some fun.
I said all the actors that you have to be topless in every scene, and now I'm involved in several lawsuits. But let's keep going through here.
Well, you are Tony from Hoot the Movies, so it makes sense.
That's how I go. Then we get the ending of the first one again, just with new actors.
Yeah.
And again,
wait, are they new actors? I think the dude might be new.
The dude is definitely new. Yeah, the dude is definitely. She might be the same, but the dude
I think she's the same. Like, they definitely reshot all this, but
it took me a while where I was just like,
I thought the dude might have just had a new haircut, but was it a completely new dude?
No, I think this is definitely a new dude.
He did seem less smutty in the reshoots than he did in the first one, where he's like, "Playboy." By the way, how funny is it that I was like, wait a minute, Andrew and this dude have the same copy of Playboy? Like,
no, I assumed that like Andrew took it and they found it on him.
Oh, you're right, he did take it.
Wait, you thought it EMT?
I thought the EMT just kept the Playboy.
EMT went to work and decided, you know what? Let me get my copy of Playboy from the 70s. And the copy he decided to take to work to read on the job was the same copy that the guy found in the old. That was your headcanon until I just pointed that out.
No, of course not. I wouldn't be that stupid.
You're never gonna believe this. I saw that same Playboy earlier today.
Great issue, right? Wow.
What are the odds?
Fuck. Wow. Oh, I
can't believe that.
Stupid.
I cannot believe that. You're like, wow, it was the same copy.
What is wrong with me? Why didn't I put that together? Like, it was really beat up too. I'm like, this dude carries this Playboy lots of places for a number of years.
It's his favorite one.
Yeah, like, and why did he read that article like it's the first time him looking at it? Like, I don't get it. Oh wow, thank you. I needed that. Holy shit! God damn it.
So yeah,
I don't need my stupidity pointed out to me, Tony. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, so Tommy interrupts them, and here we go. Here's the difference between the two. The hair definitely changed, but yes, the lighting is like more like cinematic and everything, more stylized. I really like the new stuff. I don't mind.
Oh yeah, the hair is just a bit different.
The hair is a lot different. But no, I like that they went
His
back.
hairline was running away from the camera. What happened?
Hey, don't make
Just
fun
like
of hair.
yours is.
By the way, I see Psycho Jet Black is in the comments leaving super chats.
Excuse me, it's Pico Jet
Sorry,
Black.
sorry.
He does not have an S in there.
Oh, it is Pico. I just realized it's Pico. I've been saying Psycho all the time. I'm pretty sure every super chat is about my hairline. His thing is
no, some are just about how ugly you are, or something.
Okay,
along
his
those
thing lately is to just spend a lot of money to get me to read mean things about myself. I don't know why he does it.
I mean,
Anyway.
it's just $2 after $2. It looks like he might spend 20 total over the course of the stream. That's worth it to fuck with someone.
So I like this time we see what happened on the outside of the ambulance, because the first time we just heard it from the inside.
Right. No, I agree. Yeah. I was kind of like, wait, why aren't we seeing this?
So I like the idea that Tommy drove all night into the morning and then he stops and Jason's there. Either this is his teleporting or Jason's just like running like this to catch up with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jason grabs his shirt and he finds out where he works. Jason just knows how to get there, I guess. I feel like he never leaves the campground, but maybe that's maybe
well, I mean, he did go to Manhattan.
He did. Well, he wasn't like planning, but he just was like, I'm going to go on that boat. And it took him to Manhattan.
Yeah. Well,
By
of course, because
Manhattan,
Crystal Lake is connected to the ocean, by the way.
Obviously. We talked about that in our episode. My co-host was living in New York at the time. Like, yeah, you always get on a boat.
Sorry. Pico just said misspelled name. I blame the education system.
Don't read. How dare you
I read
a non-super chat.
I'm so sorry. As a beginner on your channel, I apologize.
All the other commoners and peasants are going to want their comments right now. How dare you?
Guys, I'm going to tell you before he cuts me off, don't listen to him. You should be able to be acknowledged whether you super chat or not. He's going to cut me off any.
Oh, yeah, it looks like Cecil drove through a tunnel. Can you believe it? I'll do this solo from now on. Oh, you're back.
You're awesome.
Cecil, I can't. You would never believe. I always tell people, hey, make sure you don't drive and call into the show, because they always go through tunnels after they say mean things to me.
Well, and I do have a mobile home. So.
Exactly. So the sheriff finds all the dead bodies in another dead sheriff's car, and he's like, well, this is clearly Tommy Jarvis's work. It's clearly his work.
Yeah. After 40 years, he finally snapped.
Yeah. They look at more footage of Kyle, and they see that he found Mrs. Voorhees' head. Mm-hmm. And what's his face? He's like, what's YouTube? And the girl's like, oh yeah, he films himself walking around. And he's like, people watch
Why did
that?
you grab a screenshot where it looks like he's playing with his toes?
I didn't realize I needed a shot with both of them in it.
Like, hey, wake up,
It
buddy.
also looks like he's rocking a huge hard on. Like, I know it's just creased, but like,
I'm more interested in the fact that that's what you noticed in the frame, and the fact that I was attracted to feet first. We both have issues we need to work through, I think.
Anyway,
oh shit!
Oh no, the slideshow through a tunnel. Can you believe it?
It's back and bigger than ever.
I like that he's like, you got to take us to the head. We're taking you back to Crystal Lake so you can show us where that dead lady's head is. And this guy's like, what? No. But then he's into it. And I'd be like, fuck you.
You know what though? I like that, like, suddenly, like, there hasn't been any of this in these movies yet, but suddenly we get the mystical, we have to destroy the head. Yeah. But it in the 80s slasher oeuvre, it makes sense, right? It makes sense that this is how we're going to defeat him this time. And I like that, honestly.
Yeah, Jason shows up to the hospital. I thought this was going to be a lot longer, him in the hospital, but he kind of just slices and dices right away.
With one of the coolest shots in all of the Jason movies, where he's in the hallway with that lady with her stomach split open, and he's like, looking, and it's all red. That's one of the fucking coolest frames ever.
I like it. And then he finally gets to use the little red dot. He finally does it. After all these years, he does it, and he dies.
Yep. But not before saying his thing for a second time by shooting his head, which was cool.
So skipping forward, they're going around. They find the head. Jason gets some damage. Gets a shotgun to the face that blows off half the mask, which I thought was really cool.
Some battle damage.
Because now it's the opposite side of 7. Now his jaw's going to be on the other side. Which is cool. And then they put an axe in his head where the previous axe wound was.
Yep.
What are the chances he keeps getting hit there?
I mean, he's gonna look in the mirror and go, "God damn it, not again!"
Same place he got the machete to the eye. It's like,
I guess I gotta go get that fucking Roy mask.
Would he wear the Roy mask?
Just like, he has no other options. It's like, well, this one looks old. Fuck, god damn it!
You know what I want? I really it was never delivered, even in X, but I really want the silver hockey mask from the Jason Goes to Hell poster. When I was a kid, before I saw the movie,
that shit is awesome.
I thought that was going to be in the movie, and it never was. And I'm like, I want to see that in the movie.
No, and you'd think they would have made it happen in Jason X, but no, they had to form fit it around his face.
Yeah. The poster also has that demon worm that doesn't look like the other demon worm.
Right. It looks disturbingly like the flying demon worms from Freddy's Dead, though.
Just it does. I think we called them fish. I think they were demon fish, ghost fish.
Yeah, because they do fly. Yeah. They're more like, let's be honest, they're more like dream demon sperm, but all right.
Yes. Cecil, I want you to know, if I don't get the role of Freddy, which I think I deserve, I will be the dream sperm demons. I will voice them. I know technically in that continuity they probably don't exist, but if you're willing to make exceptions, I will go like, oh, Freddy.
With the best possible intentions behind what I'm about to say, I feel like if they had sculpted some dream demon sperm, it probably would have looked like you anyway. So we're good. We're good.
Oh, so I wouldn't have to do a lot of makeup. Oh, great. Awesome. Yeah, let's
No, you're in, bro. You're in. We'll just do one of those things where we blend it around the sides of your face.
I like that Kyle takes the head and he blocks the machete with that. So Jason technically cuts his mom's head.
Yeah.
And he feels very sad.
Although that's risky. He very much could have lost like 8 of his 10 fingers had Jason swiped sideways.
Oh, so how is the machete just not going through the head? It's been decaying since the 80s.
And then it falls apart. Like it gets chopped halfway and then it falls apart. Like it's solid until the integrity is broken.
And then he sees
it should have gone through and right through his face, and then then Jason falls over or something.
But then he sees his mom again. She's like, Jason, come to me.
Yeah. She's and the worst kind of green screen ghost.
Yeah, and then he chops his head off. Which this does feel like the video game, because in the video game you need to find Jason's mom's sweater. You got to hypnotize Jason.
Are you talking about the Nintendo game? Oh no. I was like, again, I'm old enough to default to the fucking original Nintendo game.
Someone's probably already done it, but I was gonna say, can we do a fan film that's just the Nintendo game with like the weird...
I think someone did the Purple Jason in a fan film.
Yeah,
the 8-bit Jason is what they call it. I did get a I'm pretty sure my team got a photo op with 8-bit Jason when he did the cosplay at Mad Monster.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, they put him in the whole purple getup and shit. It was Kane. It was Kane too. They had Kane do it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was fucking
cool. I love Purple Jason. Yeah. So it flashes forward a little bit. They throw away the evidence of Jason. I feel like you're gonna want that. A lot of people died, and it's gonna be an investigation.
I mean, why solve crimes when we can just put it all to bed? You know what I mean?
That was my one problem with the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. We were talking about it. They're like, all right, let's just burn it. It's like, wait, they're gonna pin all those murders on you. You should probably bring his body out.
Yeah.
I hate that in slashers. They're like, he's dead now. Oh yeah, and the Friday the 13th, 2009. They're like, let's throw his body in the water. I'm like, no, keep it. So you can be like, cops, it was this thing. That's the one that killed everyone.
Yep. But why though? You know, there's not what cops. I mean,
Yeah.
Sheriff
I guess he
Cologne
did kill the
gone.
police force.
Yeah.
Also, dead bodies apparently don't float. Jason is at the bottom of I was going to say the ocean.
Hear his footsteps in the first movie? Why would that float? That would sink right to the bottom.
But yeah, I like that his severed head blows bubbles.
Well, and what I also like is like the body like just fell over at the shoreline.
Yeah.
And then like floated out a little bit. The head went a lot further, but they're close. And then he fucking hurled that GoPro, and somehow it's right next to the body.
Yeah. Well, the body's moving around underneath.
Oh, is it? Okay, I didn't realize it was caught.
Freddy is coming from hell trying to grab it, and he keeps pushing it. He's like, ah!
I will say there have been discussions where what if Miko visited Crystal Lake after this? What if Dylan visited Crystal Lake and the presences were stirred once again? So we definitely have a way into Ghost Jason versus Neo Freddy.
Okay, I'm gonna pitch my name again. I'm gonna find it. You know what? I'll be Kelly Rowland's illegitimate child no one knew existed. I'll be like, yes, my mom, Kelly Rowland's character, she was killed by Freddy. And they're gonna look at me and they're like, I'm sorry, your mom is who? And I'm like, yeah, it was Kelly Rowland from Destiny's Child. I'm her son.
We'll definitely need a good color correction artist.
I was like, who's the worst casting decision? Like, oh yeah, that's it. I'll be their son. That no one knew existed.
The movie, it'll be like one shade except for one column that's you. That'll be a completely different color from the rest of the film.
Yeah, so it ends on a cliffhanger, and this is the best ending ever, by the way. So in the fan
film, was really well done. Like, it's so cheesy.
So in the fan film, this is a guy. I mean, the Never Hike Alone movies are a guy that's like, they're not making Jason movies. I'm going to make my own. And then
Kyle shouts him out.
Yeah, it gets
at the beginning
meta.
of Never Hike Alone. Yeah,
I know, it gets so meta because he's like, wait a minute, the guy who did the hiking videos doesn't make them anymore. I'm gonna do my own. I'm like, that's really funny fan film commentary. That is like a really funny way to tie it all together. And now this guy is gonna go out into the woods by himself.
Yeah, Hiker Man
record the
5000.
whole hiking thing. And then it ends with a teaser for an animated follow-up.
And a teaser for Never Hike Alone 3, which does involve Hiker Man 5000.
Ooh.
That's nice. That's all I can say because that's all I remember him telling me about it.
If you remembered anything else, you'd be like, yeah, he told me how it ends. Jason finds love.
No, I did actually talk to Vin to see if he might want to stop by the stream. But when I told him who it was, he said, fuck no.
What?
I'm just kidding. No,
I assumed he'd be.
Because he's at Friday the 13th. He's at an event for Friday.
Yeah,
the 13th.
I was actually going to ask earlier. I'm like, oh, we should invite him. I'm like, no, he's probably doing something.
I thought about it. I know how to be a good guest.
That's why I had to settle for the Dylan Nightmare guy.
Well, if you had interviewed me about that, I would have brought Miko on with me. But no, you wanted to talk about Never Hike Alone on Friday the 13th for some fucking reason.
Man, I keep screwing up. So I actually didn't review New Nightmare on my channel. I did it on my friend's channel.
Oh, that is fuck up.
And then everyone said, do it on your channel. And I went, no, I'll do a commentary track behind a paywall.
Oh, that's great.
But I could have gotten Miko when I reviewed Spawn in August. Instead, I did it with Pedro.
It was just in August? Yeah, absolutely. We could have made that happen.
Damn
I would have loved it. I love Spawn. Spawn's one of my favorite movies from that era. But I have all Spawn comics up until
so do I.
3 years ago.
You should watch my Spawn review because me and Pedro, the late Pedro, his final episode, we got like.
I was like, damn, he died. Shit.
Yeah, he died afterwards. It was very sad and definitely not a bit. But yeah.
Okay. Well, I hope it's not a curse for people that appear on your fucking
Oh no! He's in hell with Pedro now.
Freddie pulled me down.
But we went deep into the Spawn lore. We argued Spawn facts, and I had to correct them in post. It was a whole thing.
Greg Capullo is the best Spawn artist, period.
Oh, 100%. 100% from that era. Yeah,
his
definitely.
covers are so fucking clean, dude. They're so good.
I can't talk about Spawn all day. I already talked about Spawn.
I would too, because that oh man, there's so many great covers. But yeah,
you know what I can do? Know what I can do for you? I did a Spawn.
What could you do for me?
I did a Spawn commentary track years ago, but it was just me, and it sucked. So I'm thinking maybe I'll do it again with like a guest. I did a couple solo commentary tracks. I'm like, I should probably do those with people.
We could always do it on my channel and just have another thing
true.
that your audience is like, why the fuck didn't you do it here? No, I would love to do that because I have never been able to properly talk to anyone about Spawn, and I literally do have like 350 issues and all spin-off series up until the point where it's split off into 4 titles because I couldn't justify that cost.
I recently read the first like 100, and then I bought like the omnibus, which I didn't realize there were big omnibuses. I'm like, I've been buying these individually.
It's Omnibuy. Thank you.
Whatever.
It's 2024.
I also went and got like Curse of Spawn and the Sam and Twitch spinoffs. I went
the best one is Spawn the Undead. Have you read that? There's a 9-issue series. Yeah. If you haven't read Spawn the Undead, it's literally the best Spawn there is. It's just 9 issues of him. It's the point in time where he decided he wasn't going to help heaven or hell. All he was going to be was the balance between the two. So whenever one or the other tried to get the upper hand, he would fucking stop it. So like at one point, like one of the issues is a dude that's deciding to try and fucking kill himself, and an angel stops him. And Spawn fucking stops the angel from stopping him, letting him kill himself because that was his choice. Dude, the series is fucking great.
I went back and I got Spawn talk. We'll get back to this in a second.
Sorry.
I went back and I bought like the Angela series because they'll never reprint
I have those. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I have when they moved her to the Marvel U.
I didn't even bother with that. I was like, nah, I'm done.
It's not
great. And I went and got like the Violator spin-offs, like the one with the guy from Youngblood.
They're in the middle of a Violator origin comic right now. It's a 5-issue series. I got the first issue, but yeah, it's telling his whole origin. It's fucking cool.
But yeah, Never Hike Alone. These are great fan films.
They really, really are, honestly.
I really love them.
The first one is why I made Dylan's New Nightmare. I was like, oh shit, fan films can be this? Because here's the thing. And this is not to like poo-poo anyone or look down on anyone, but I saw what fan films were largely, at the time. And it was pretty much, dudes in the backyard having fun together, which is fine, but I never wanted to make something unless I could put everything behind it and make it look like an actual movie. So it took me forever before I made something, and I didn't even do it unless I was able to raise $50,000 to make it. But luckily, it came out how I wanted it to come out, and it's led to other things that I'm currently in the process of doing. But yeah, man, like fan films can be a wasteland of just hangouts, which is great. I love that people hang out and they cut their teeth on this, right? This is the early shit they do before they get into it.
Like fan stuff is like good practice. Like you 100%. Can tell a story, like the rules and everything, and then you can do your own.
But there's very few that can be considered, of a quality that are really worth sharing around.
I got bitter with fan films years ago when I was doing my show, Mummy Cop, which sure is derivative of the Universal Monsters, but it's not really like it's not in that universe or anything. It was like my own thing. And I struggled to like get funding for that, like through crowdfunding and whatnot. And then I knew a guy who did a fucking Penguin from Batman spinoff, which I was actually in and got cut out of. But his
I don't know why.
His Batman fan film made like $6,000 in Indiegogo, and I got like 400 in mine. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, you can't even do, bro. What the hell?
Yeah, like you have to have something to grab people. Like it's some big people that made a whole Uncharted fan film.
That was good. I saw that.
Yeah, they're trying to make. They're in the process of making a Batman horror fan film, a period piece, like an older Batman film, and they haven't been able to raise a bunch of money, but they have enough people that care about it that it'll be of a certain quality and stuff. But yeah, it's you have to have something to have people buy into on crowdfunding, and usually that's an original actor.
Yeah.
If you don't have an original actor, your idea might not be enough to actually make that money.
How hard do you think it is to get Matthew McConaughey for my Matthew McConaughey Texas Chainsaw? He can't be that hard, right?
Well, let's be honest. I mean, I'll be completely honest with you. When I launched my crowdfunding, we had a trailer to launch with. I spent $7,000 of my own money to make that trailer for the crowdfund. So like we wouldn't have been able to raise the 50,000 had I not spent $7 to make something to put on there to be like, here's what we could do. You know, this is the example of the quality, and then people were willing to give you money. But you have to have something that can show that, and a lot of times that costs. It costs.
Good to note. Good to note. For my Matthew McConaughey Texas Chainsaw origin movie, that's about him just with a bunch of naked ladies going, "Hey."
all right.
Let's read some super chats. But for the fans of this show, I just want to let everyone know, if they've been following the saga, our boy Riley is free for now. He's free. He's not going to trial. The judge threw it out. Yes. Only I don't want to live in America where you can't be annoying to people. That's why he got arrested. He was just kind of annoying. But yes. So congratulate. Well, he got kicked off Twitter. Congratulate Mint Salad and tell her to forward it to Riley.
All right.
Let's read some super chats. Rob K for $5. Tony, will you quit flying your drones over New Jersey? You're drawing too much attention to those of us drone flying voyeurs trying to collect data. I am not part of the new, by the way, New Jersey. He spelled Jersey wrong. I am not part of the ongoing drone phenomenon. All right. So if the Fed is listening, it's not me. I didn't do it.
Are you in Jersey?
I'm close to Jersey.
Oh, okay.
I'm in PA.
Have you been to Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash?
I have not.
Oh, okay. I've been a lifelong Kevin Smith fan, so it's something I got to do at some point.
Yeah, no, I haven't been there. I live close to where they shot Terrifier and Signs.
Oh.
Yeah. So Pico, now I'm never calling him Psycho Jet Black ever again. Fuck you. Pico Jet Black for $5. Tony, the courage you have to show up on camera without bathing and with a bad haircut is admirable at best. Hashtag hero, hashtag Tony needs help, hashtag giant baby arms. First off, I literally showered right before this. Second, yeah, I do need a haircut. You got me there. And third, I'm on week 4 of my bicep routine. Look at that, baby. Yeah. So fuck you.
The comment would have been great if it ended at admirable, but the at best is just a little twist.
Pico Jet Black for $2. Cecil, why does Tony's face get bullied online?
Yeah, my answer was it's just so bullyable.
Pico Jet Black. Cecil, please help Tony get a woman. Hashtag thin hairline.
Your fans love you.
Cecil, you have any advice for me getting women? Do you have any?
I mean, I have a kid, and so I
you've met a woman. What did you do?
I slipped and fell inside, and boom, there was a kid 9 months later.
It's a happy accident.
Yeah.
Pico Jet Black for $2.
Pico, holy shit! Wow, that's a callback, dude.
Cecil,
I love that.
Cecil, besides Scrubs janitor, who else is dead?
Do you remember that? That's from our first stream with Adam, where I thought the Scrubs janitor was dead, and you guys are like, "I think he's alive," and you fact checked me. I was completely wrong.
So you've spent the last few years thinking that Playboy magazine and Never Hike Alone was 2 different magazines, and that the janitor from Pico Jet Black again for $2. Cecil, are you happier than Tony? Hashtag Tony has problems.
Probably here and there, He might
Does
be
anyone
happier
else have money in my goddamn audience? There's so many more of these. You ask.
He keeps the comments short enough to keep it in the $2 tier.
I know. It's like Pico Jet Black for $2. Tony's nose is bigger than Freddy Krueger mask nose. That's probably true, to be honest. Ryan Powell for $5. Any other fan films you might look at or do mini reviews of someday? Like that Batman versus Predator short film. Well, everyone's seen Batman Dead End. It's been
Yeah,
talked
Batman
about.
Dead End is fucking
Actually,
classic.
someone a while back did email me their Nightmare on Elm Street one.
Ooh.
And I
Which
put a
one was
pin
it?
in it for later.
Was
I
it
might
the death of Detective Coleman? Last Death of Detective Coleman?
No, I've heard of that one. That I think I would have remembered if it was that name. I don't recall
Yeah.
the name.
That was made by Paul Bailey, who a lot of people thought should play the new Freddy until Dave McRae showed them what he could do.
Oh, well, wait till they see what I can do. Should I play the clip again? I have. Anthony Hudak for $2 would love a Phantasm or Jeepers Creepers fan film.
I'd be surprised if there wasn't a Phantasm fan film out there.
Yeah, I'd be surprised too. Jeepers Creepers is hard because then like you really got to do the wings right because Jeepers Creepers 3 and 4 their budget's going to do the wings right.
Jeepers Creepers, you're automatically going to draw ire from people just because it's
no, those movies have a lot of fans who are aware of what happened.
I agree.
Yeah,
I mean,
agree.
Well, I'm one of them. I like the first two. The other two are
I was gonna say when I say those two movies, I mean those two.
Yeah.
I can see someone doing I mean, in a way, the fourth movie was a fan film. It was just
true
trash.
True.
Pico Jet Black for $2. Tony, why are your friends mean to your puffy nose? Oh, good. Captain Boomies. What the fuck? No boats in any of these films? I'm going to iceberg your shop.
Jesus Christ.
Captain Boomies is my friend. She is a boat captain, if you couldn't tell. And I always bring her in for boat movies. And Captain Boomies, if you're still, I know that was from earlier. If you're still in the chat, hit me up. I got to get you on the schedule soon. I know we've been trying and I keep falling through. I got a
good boat movie to watch with her.
What is it?
Triangle.
Oh, I've seen that. The time travel one.
You didn't like that?
George? It was, I think there were inconsistencies with the time travel.
Then watch Ghost Ship. That's another good boat.
I already did Ghost Ship. Not with
Deep Rising.
We did Deep Rising this year, and we did Virus, and we did Speed 2 Cruise Control.
Did you do Poseidon Adventure?
We did not do Poseidon. Captain Movies. We're going to watch every single Poseidon adventure.
There you go.
All 500 of them. Captain Boobies for $5. Read your super chats. I want my damn puppet. So the guy who makes these puppets of us, he sent in a Captain Boomies one. I sent her a picture.
He makes puppets?
Out of duct tape and cardboard.
I want a puppet.
He sent a Captain Boomies one, and I forgot to tell my nieces that it's not a toy, and they scalped her. But luckily, it was an easy fix. I look over, and they're just like pulling Captain Boomie's head off. I'm like, no, that's not a toy.
Oh my God,
it's not a toy.
You're lucky that wasn't a voodoo doll.
Pico Jet Black for $2. And I sent Captain Boomies a picture of that, and she never responded to the adorable picture I sent. And here she is spending money, wanting me to respond. Please review the rock. Wait, this wasn't an insult. I'm shocked. This wasn't an insult. Pico Jet Black for $2. Please review The Rocketeer and Rat Race. I would have a lot to say about both, I believe. Ryan Powell for $2. Get Captain Boomies for a down Periscope review. Which one was down Periscope? Is
that was the Kelsey Grammer comedy submarine movie?
Oh yeah.
Do submarine movies count with Captain Boomies?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, there you go.
Rob Schneider is in it, and Harry Dean Stanton.
If that's the case, then you guys need to watch Below. Below is an awesome submarine horror movie.
Oh yes, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, Below is really good.
Yeah, we can do that. Pico Jet Black. Tony or Cecil, have you been staring at Tony's tiny eyes? Everyone
I would try, but it's very hard.
I squint. I'm sorry. I'll keep my eyes. Pico Jet Black. Ladies, please date Tony and ignore his What? My what?
Fill in the blank. I love that could be literally everything.
Nay for $2. I don't recognize this name. Is this one of yours? Nay for $2. Tell your buddy.
Yeah.
Tell your buddy, let's go ASU.
My buddy Fuego is a big sports fan, and he goes to ASU. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Anyway, here's me getting insulted again. Pico Jet Black for $2. Cecil, talk about how great your hair is.
I mean, today it's not doing what I like it to do, but it's not terrible. You know, the stupid indent from the fucking headphones is always a bit challenging.
Well, mine's thinning right there.
Well, you have a 6 head. I've still got like a 4.5 head.
God damn it. Pico Jet Black. Oh, good. So, Tony, aren't you happy to see Celeste green hair? Yeah, I'm real thrilled. Pico Jet Black for $2. Everyone, please donate to Tony's hair.
I'm telling you, does he just fucking write these in between streams? Like he's just got a list. And he's like, okay, that'll be $2. That'll be $2. Wait, I got to shave 3 characters off this one to keep it $2.
Like 2 years ago when I started doing like live episodes, I'm like, this would be great. The fans would be able to like, super chat and say cool things that'll interact. If I had known it was just gonna be one guy sending me $2 each
the opportunity
to insult my hairline, I'd be like, that's a bad idea.
Not just that, to make sure you read the insult.
I did open the floodgates. I did say early on, I'm like, we'll say whatever you want within reason. I guess this is within reason. I should add, also, please be nice to me. Panic Pun for $10. Here, have money. Thank you.
I like that Panic Pun is clearly from the 90s with that logo or with that avatar. It's fucking awesome.
Guys, if you have, real quick, if you guys have any more super chats, get them in now. It looks like Renan is here. Ryan Powell, hello. How are you?
Hey Tony, I was going to talk about the these fan films here, but watching it triggered a memory that I've been trying to suppress for a while because I was in fact attacked by a guy in a hockey mask one time. It's
you were
a story I don't want to tell, but this it brought it out. It was a trip me and some friends took to Niagara Falls up there by the Canadian border. We went to a hockey game, and it was America versus Canada, and we were having some drinks. We were a little rowdy and whatnot, and kids will be kids. Some of us were making fun of the lyrics of the Canadian national anthem, and Canadians versus Americans, typical jokes and whatnot. And what's that? What's the flag? What is that? A pot leaf or something? And then I made a sarcastic comment that Canadian beer sucks, and it suddenly got everybody's attention. And one of the hockey players, the goalie, he jumped off of the rink and started to beat the crap out of me. And it made there was a riot, and it made the news and everything. And it was just a terrible experience for me. And in fact, it was such a traumatic experience, and it made the news so much so, it was so famous that they had to make a movie out of it.
What is that, Canadian bacon? I was wondering where that was going. I don't like.
I pulled a sneaky on you.
I love taking long walks for a good destination.
You did something similar. I forget what it was. You did a long walk on the lunch.
I did.
Yeah. Ryan,
I remember now. I caught you guys so off guard.
Yeah. Ryan joined in the other night. Cecil, you know how
I remember. I was assaulted by Michael Bay. That's what it was.
Yeah, and I know we thought we're like, where the fuck is this going?
Yeah.
So Bram Stoker's Dracula, right? The
Not personally, but I've seen it. Sure.
The 1992 movie. There is a infamously bad TV version of it that aired on Fox. Ooh. And it was infamously bad, but there was no digital file of it. So I did a breakdown of the Scream 2 Fox TV cut that I personally had. And I said in the video, I'm like, if anyone dig through your family's old VHS that they taped off TV, and a fan actually found the long missing Dracula cut, and me and the $10 patrons, Ryan included, we watched it together. We did like a whole watch along.
That's awesome.
Here's the big thing. There's a lot of changes, but here's the big one, and one of the reasons I hunted it down. Renfield is completely cut from the movie. They just cut all his scenes.
Wow. All right.
I know what you're saying. I'm like, wait, what about Dr. Jack and how that ties into Anthony Hopkins. All their scenes were also reduced. That's the result of cutting him. So I am going to do.
Are you going to do like a video on the comparison to the TV cut?
Yeah.
Or...
I'm going to watch it again. I'm going to do a breakdown and upload like a short version. But I wanted to watch it with the patrons, and we all had a good time. There's literally a scene that just stops in the middle because they had to talk about Renfield, and it just awkwardly just cuts into the middle of another scene. It was so bizarre.
Okay, because I don't know if you want to wait for your breakdown video, but the reason Keanu Reeves screams in that one scene, it's hilarious the way they cut it. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. No, save that for the video.
You want to save that?
Save that for the video. It's good. Anyway, thanks for hopping in, Ryan. I'm going to read a couple more super chats. Great seeing you. And, if you're a $10 patron, you can call in, too. Panic Pun again. Have another $5 for your guests complimenting my logo. Quick, Cecil, compliment everyone's avatar.
Show me them all. Bring them big. Let me see.
This guy. Oh, that's a cool avatar.
That is a cool avatar, yeah.
Brody Kane for $2. Please review Tiptoes. Cheers.
Can I please volunteer to do that with you?
Sure.
Can we do a commentary of Tiptoes? Do you know what Tiptoes is?
I 100% know what Tiptoes is.
I've never watched it. I've always wanted to.
I think I've seen it once.
Oh, fuck you then.
I watched it once 20 however many years ago. It's been a long time.
Dying. I've never seen it, but and Gary Oldman in the role of a
lifetime. I see the trailer a lot. Pico Jet Black, Tony, review Wishmaster 3 and 4. Also, please bathe. Oh god, those are shit shows.
I like the Wishmaster movies.
The first two.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Anyway, when
Cecil,
Divoff dips out, it's not really worth much.
Cecil, one last thing before we go.
Yes.
Before I get you to do your finishing plugs and whatnot. I believe Vincent played Jason in these movies, right?
He did mostly. There was another actor that did some of it, though.
Yeah, I think he really needs to focus on directing and step down from the role. But don't worry, I got a guy who could play Jason.
You really liked my Freddy impression. I thought it was only appropriate to do a Jason impression now. Okay, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Jason.
Yeah.
Chicky ha.
The sound effect. The sound effect.
Chicka ha. Watch out for my machete.
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Totally nailed it. Kane Hodder has nothing on me. I should be the next Jason.
Throwing Kane Hodder under the bus. I'm coming for you, bud.
Chicka ha. Oh my god.
So if you can forward that to him and tell him to keep me in mind for Never Hike Alone 3.
Dude.
Show him I have what it takes.
How could he say no?
The sound effect, I think I nailed it. Chicka chicka ha, chicka chicka ha.
Dude,
It's a Friday the 13th movie when you hear chicka chicka ha. Chicka,
well, absolutely. I'm sure he wants a Jason that looks like a mini fridge too.
I'm average height, you asshole. I'm a 5'7" giant, you dick. Cecil, what do you got coming up on your show? What have you done lately?
I'm thinking about making a whole video just roasting you. It's so fun.
It would probably, I could forward it to a subreddit where it would do really well, but no.
No. So actually, we have a lot of cool stuff coming. So my buddy Fuego is finally done with his school semester, and so this weekend on Sunday he's going to be coming through. We're going to record a new trailer reaction roundup. We're going to be doing a news update, a horror show news with booze is what we do. That's what we do. And then we're also going to record our 4th episode of the horror franchise tier list ranking. So we've done 3 episodes so far. We do 20 franchises per episode.
Oh God.
Yeah. And so it's been 4 years since the last episode because it takes a long time to watch 20 franchises all the way through amongst all the other stuff. So we're finally ready to do episode 4. So we're either going to do that live or record it and present it very soon. And then we're going to also record our most anticipated of 2025. And then in a week or two, we're going to be doing our best of 2024, most likely live. So lots of cool stuff coming. And that's outside of the fact that the issue of the Tremors comic where I have a story in is, I think, coming out next week. So.
And I saw you got the arachnophobia comic that we were talking about.
I did, yes, and thank you again for that. That's really fucking cool. I love, like, for a long time I avoided just adaptations. But when I started to try and collect, all horror properties that have comics, like the adaptations just came, and then there's just a bunch that I never knew about. Yeah. And Arachnophobia I had never heard of until you mentioned it. So I was very happy to add it to my collection.
Or else I wouldn't have known about it. I grabbed that at a convention.
I love it. So I really appreciate that knowledge. I will be covering it on both the TikTok I have, and then we also started a horror show shorts channel recently.
Ooh, cool.
So yeah, that's only got 50 subscribers, but starting January 16th, it's going to be all comic, like anything. If you're interested at all in horror properties that have comics, check out the Horror Show Shorts channel, because I'm going to be covering all of it. So all Freddy comics, all Jason comics, all Michael Myers comics, all Chucky comics, Leprechaun, Hellraiser. Like
I've read some of the Hellraiser.
Yeah, I mean, there's a Fog series that came out, a sequel series that came out this year, a Fright Night sequel series that came out this year. There's so many things that people don't realize are in comic form, including Terrifier and Deathgasm, like just small stuff.
I need to get the Lost Boys one, because someone told me that
there's two Lost Boys series.
Someone told me that, I don't know if I gotta confirm it. Apparently the Sax Man is a vampire hunter.
He's a vampire hunter, yeah.
And when I read that, I'm like, how are there not 10,000 movies about that? Why did they bring Corey Feldman back? That's what I want to see, is the Sax Man vampire.
Yeah, that Lost Boys series is a lot of fun. That's a really good one. Both series are interesting, but one is very 90s and the other is very nowadays.
Cecil, I'm going to give you one more thing here. As you know, I'm making that Matthew McConaughey movie. Leatherface will be in it, and I'm going to announce it right now. I will be playing Leatherface.
Tony here. I got another impression of a famous horror character for you. This time it is Leatherface. Here we go. I'm Leatherface.
I keep expecting you to actually try. Why do I keep expecting you to try?
Okay, there you go. When they inevitably reboot it for the 15th time, I would like to play Leatherface in it. I think I have what it takes, and I think I just proved it.
That's what a showman I am. It's what a showman I am, because every time I'm like, he's going to go, wee! And then he's like, I'm Leatherface.
Okay,
like,
you know what?
Subvert expectations every time.
No,
I love it.
We're doing it, because the last one I actually tried.
Okay.
I'm going to play that for you. I actually tried.
Tyler's been watching the whole stream. He said, perfect, the rule of three. You did Freddy, Jason, and Leatherface.
I do have Ghostface, but I showed that in another episode. So.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is Michael Myers.
I was going to say, did Spirit have to disinfect all their masks after you rolled through, or what?
Well, definitely not. This Michael Myers mask is the Resurrection mask from 2002. You'll see that it is very worn. Here we go.
Hey everyone, Tony here. You guys have been liking my impressions of famous horror characters, so I'm back again. And this is going to be my impression of Michael Myers.
Hi, I'm Michael Myers. No? Did you actually? Oh, wait, you tried. Oh, my God. Why did
No, you laughed over it.
Still coughed. You still fucked it up. Tony, your comedy is more layered than people might give you credit for. I gotta say.
As you can see, flawless. They should hire me to be in the next one. I totally nailed it.
Like your comedy's not for everybody, but I love stupid. It's so good. It's so funny.
I told this in the previous one. The whatchamacallit, the Jason to Michaels, those were me being me. The first two I did was Ghostface and Freddy when I was fucking hammered. So you're like, your comedy is genius. I'm like, I don't even really remember doing the first two.
No, I just think I don't know. I appreciate stupidity on a certain level.
I know, because everyone was expecting me to say I'm Michael Myers. I'm like, I'm gonna try, but I'm just gonna cough in the middle.
It's a great subversion. Yeah,
I learned a lot.
That's what the comedy is, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really do respect that. Like, I write. But I don't necessarily, like, the comedy I write is just lines, like dialogue and shit. I don't really have like setups and follow throughs, like that come naturally to some people, and like that feels like a natural thing. So I'm glad you kudos said to you.
I was good at being funny for my.
You are well. Reviews. I mean, certain people don't have a choice. It's that or
okay. Last two super chats. He had to chime in. Pico Jet Black, Leatherface Tony looks like a sad juggalo. I will say whatever this was like from a few years back, whatever Spirit Halloween was I don't know what the fuck Leatherface this is from. Doesn't look like any from the movie. It's pretty terrible.
Oh my god!
But I love it. And Tony's, god damn you, Tony's
Welcome
layers
to the
are
House of Horrors.
wait, Tony's layers are as big as his forehead. Hashtag here. All right, guys, that was it. Please like, share, and subscribe. Check out Cecil's channel, the Horror Show channel, and have a
sweet. I look like Ron Perlman if he gave up. That's nice.
have a happy. I almost said Halloween. Friday the 13th. Have a happy Friday the 13th. Goodbye, everyone.